are 00400. Okay, starts with 00400. So then the next section, it goes into 10. See here? Okay, so that is why a lot of people confuse it, because it does go into sequence. It starts with the the zero zeros, and then you have the 10,000s, and then you have the 20,000s, and then so forth, so forth, so forth, and then out of nowhere, at the very front of your book, it starts with 992. So we don't refer this to codes. I mean, we do, but when we tab this, we refer them to the E and M. Okay, so when you hear E and M, that's what we refer them to. So I'm using the exact tabs that they're there, and then here I just put the code range. Okay, sorry. There we go. So here I just put the specific code range that I'm at. Okay, so if I turn my camera this way, see here. So I took the time and I did this to every single little tab. Now, you don't have to use these tabs again, but I would suggest you write at least the code range. Okay, so where would I get this code range? Okay, it's kind of hard to focus. Okay, so there you have it. 99201 through 99494. Okay, so where do I get that number from is starting from where the codes began, and notice that the sections always start with a little bit of guidelines. Okay, so it has quite a bit, and then it goes into the actual codes, and the codes start on page 1. Okay, I'm sorry, page 11 in this case. Okay, so looking at this here, notice that my first code starts with 99201. Okay, then it runs. If we go to the very last code of where E&M ends, this is the code that it ends with, 99499. Okay, so that's the numbers that I'm writing. So the next section is anesthesia, right? And notice I have some notes and stuff. All of these are your anesthesia guidelines. Okay, so in every section you have specific guidelines, and then guidelines that are within the codes too. Kind of like if I looked at this one. Okay, these guidelines apply specifically to fine needle FNA biopsy, fine needle aspiration. So that's just as an example. Okay. Okay, so going back, so our next section, we have anesthesia, right? It goes into kind of like a table of contents of what you'll find here. Okay, sometimes this is useful versus the index. It's just a personal preference. Okay, and then you can tab your book from here. Okay, so it starts with 00100. That's the code that it begins with, and I'm on page 62. Okay, and then it runs, and then of course I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to go where it ends. Okay, and it ends, this is the last code here, 0199, and it's on page 69. Okay, so that's how you tab your book. You tab it based on the code selection range. Okay, then you have the integumentary. This is where your surgery begins. Remember I told you surgery is the biggest. Okay, so you have your guidelines for surgery, right? And then it goes into this green section. You'll see you have surgery, and then you have integumentary, right? So integumentary, you'll see the green, and it gives you the code range. So this code range, the integumentary, goes into 1003 to 19499. So basically surgery, even though surgery is one of the 6 sections, it breaks it down into each anatomical group. Okay, so for example, I'm sorry, not anatomical group. It breaks it into each system. Okay, so for example, we have integumentary system. Okay, it's all of this green section. Okay, and it goes all the way, like I showed you, the 99. It always usually ends with the 99. So whatever your first code is, okay, that would be your code range. Okay, so it ranges from 00100, 00300. I keep saying 300s. 10030 through 19499, and I'm getting it from here. Okay, and that's what's gonna go here in your tab. Okay, you can use integumentary, but still put your codes if you like. Or don't use these and just put your numbers. And then, of course, you have muscular, okay? And notice I write in my book a lot. There's a lot of good notes that I use, okay? So make sure that you write in the notes that your teachers give you, okay? So muscular is a pretty big section,